In 1999, Morpheus offered Neo a choice between a red pill and a blue pill. In 2018, this country fractured between red and blue. In 2022, I'm here to tell you that if you really want the truth, more voters are neither red or blue. Yet, they have no representation, no choice, and no options. They have to choose between candidates chosen by the red people or the blue people. I'm David Esrati, and I'm running for Congress as an American, as in red, white, and blue. I'm a veteran, an activist, and a small businessman. I'm asking you to join me in reminding the professional politicians in Congress who their bosses are. I support ranked choice voting, campaign finance reform, and a verified voter information system, all so we can stop having the best politicians money can buy. It's time to elect a veteran who will work for you, no matter what color they want to label you. Please go to electesrati.com and learn more. I'm David Esrati, and I approve this message. Jurassic Park, you thought those little baby dinosaurs were cute until they turned into out-of-control carnivores. That's sort of what happens to government when we elect people based on very expensive advertising campaigns and propaganda. I'm David Esrati. I'm a veteran and a small businessman running for Congress. You don't want professional ad people and pollsters to sway your vote. All those hot-button issues like gun control, abortion, borders are all politicized to stop you from voting rationally. And thinking rationally seems to be in short supply these days. Most Americans have been voting against their own best self-interest for a long time because we've allowed money to buy our leaders. 1 million Americans died in the last 2 years because our leaders couldn't lead. It wasn't that hard. Mask, distance, test, and then vaccinate. In an instant, we had billions to spend on healthcare for COVID, when for years we've been told we can't provide healthcare for everyone equally in this country. That's an unintended consequence of the pandemic. If you think about it, our government can pretty much do whatever it wants, or what the people who buy our politicians tell our leaders to do. We also had a ton of money to prop up businesses. The next thing you know, it turns out that a living wage was not only possible, but necessary. As a small businessman who won't sell you out to corporate interests and lobbyists, I can tell you that it's time to fully understand the consequences of companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Google and their effect on small business, and to remind you that small business is the #1 creator of jobs in this country. So this next election, don't trust this ad or any other political ad. Do your homework and think before you vote. It's time to put this ad man in Congress because I know that the best advertising is based on the truth, not the size of the budget or payola. Or you can just vote based on who has the money to buy their way into Congress and live with the consequences. I'm David Esrati, and I approve this message. Hi, I'm David Esrati, and welcome to my live stream. I do this every day at 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, talk about issues, talk with you about what's important, and get ideas and feedback so that when I am your congressman, I can represent you and fill you in every day. At the end of the day, what I did in Congress and why it's important to you, and to get your feedback. Nothing like this has been done before, and I appreciate those of you who tune in every day and say hello. Drop a note in comments, tell me you're here, who you are, why you're here. Today, I think the subject's kind of interesting. It's a segue from yesterday where we were talking about the cost of college and the debt elimination for those who already had debt. And, you know, it's kind of funny, but in almost every state in the United States, the highest paid state employee is either a college football or a college basketball coach. And I'm not talking by, $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. I'm talking millions more than the people who lead our government. The President of the United States makes $400,000 a year. Every college coach in Division I makes way more than that. Hell, the women's basketball coaches make more than that, and I'm not just talking UConn. So, where are our priorities in this country? What is the emphasis here? And more importantly, is it fair that these coaches are making millions while their players are making nothing? There is nothing like it other than slavery, the prison system, and the NCAA. Nowhere are you not allowed to be compensated for your work. And let me tell you, being a Division I athlete is a lot of work. It's also very dangerous work. I've got a link to a story in the down below in the comment, not in the comments, in the description, that has 15 players in college football who never got to go to the NFL. There have been plenty of people, basketball, football, who've had career-ending injuries while playing uncompensated. And before you say, oh, but that education they're getting, let me tell you, college athletes are getting the short stick there too. While some of them do get a good education in some schools, others it's a sham. And even so, realistically, they are making their universities money, their coaches money, and they're not making any. So it's time to end that and get it finished with. If you want to take the millions of dollars and do something with it that you get from the TV contracts, let's use it to make college affordable for everybody. How about that? And make sure the players are paid. And that the coaches aren't paid more than even professional coaches. So one of the stories I found was in the Washington Post back in 2018. It's also linked down in the summary about a mother going to talk to the Knight Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics. Her son, Wendell Carter Jr., was first round 7th pick in the 2018 draft in the NBA and played with the Bulls. He was a one and done, as they say. His contract, 4-year, $50 million contract, including a $50 million guaranteed with an annual average salary of $12,500,000. This year, he will earn a base salary of $14,150,000. He's playing with Orlando Magic now. He's left the Bulls. But had he played 3 more years in the NBA, in college ball, he could have gotten injured. He might not have gotten that contract. He would have walked away from literally $50 million. So, her words that she said are worth reading. I cannot be here now and not say that when I pull back the layers, the problem I see is not with the student athlete. It's not with the coaches or the institutions of higher learning. She told an audience that became rapt with her words by the heartfelt quiver in her voice. But it's with the system, like the only system I've ever seen, where the laborers are the only people that are not being compensated for the work that they do, while those in charge receive mighty compensation. The only 2 systems I've known that to be in place, she said, is slavery and the prison system. And now I see the NCAA as overseers of a system that is identical to that. Her son had a meeting with an agent called Christian Dawkins when he was a junior, in junior high. It was a $100 meal. It came up in an FBI investigation. $100 meal. Junior high, they were scouting him. So, a few other examples. Rick Pitino was fired. He had, on top of his multi-million-dollar salary, he received 98% of a multi-million-dollar Adidas contract signed with the school. What? 98%? That is unacceptable. We also have Arizona coach Sean Miller, audio taped, arranging a $100,000 payment to a recruit. In case you don't know who Sean Miller is, he's the brother of Archie Miller, who used to be the coach here at the University of Dayton. I work for a living. I own my own business. I pay my employees. I pay the people who do the work. If I didn't pay them, they wouldn't be here. If anybody comes to work for me with the aspiration of going on to bigger and better things, that's called an intern. And I still pay them. Now, I do have to admit that I have 2 J1 exchange students coming in for experience, and I'm not allowed to pay them. But I guarantee you, the days they're here, I'll buy their lunch. I'm teaching them, but I still think I should pay them. There are barricades. You cannot go straight from high school to the NBA. The way, let's see, was it LeBron James did that? Was it Kyrie Irving that did that?
Kyrie played 1 year at Duke.
No, Kyrie played a year at Duke.
But he sat out that year.
He sat it out. And there's another, I don't think Kobe played.
Kobe went straight from high school to the pros.
Kobe went straight from high school to the NBA. I've got a basketball wizard here behind the controls. So that rule is gone, that chance. I've got a good friend whose son plays for Ole Miss. He plays baseball. You are not allowed to be drafted to them Major League Baseball until your 3rd year in high school baseball, in college baseball. 3rd year. So you have to do something. Doesn't apply to the kids from the Dominican Republic, though. They can come straight from high school and get into the minors and play their way up. But if you're a red-blooded American, that doesn't happen. Baseball, of course, the risks of injury aren't nearly what they are in football, hockey, baseball, or basketball. But you can still get hit by a pitch. You can still slide into somebody and tear up your knee or your hip or something else. So yeah, there are risks. Something needs to change in this country, because what we've done is we've sort of become this culture that, because somebody else made $1 million or $1 billion, we should be able to too, and screw all those other protections. That's why we have labor unions. That's why I believe in labor unions. That's why I believe in organized employees demanding better working conditions, demanding better pay, demanding health care. It's time. It shouldn't have to be that way, but it is. The realization that Jeff Bezos is making so many hundreds of millions of dollars a day for himself personally, while his employees are eligible for welfare benefits, is something we need to fix. We need to have some sort of ratio. Same thing goes for college coaches. I think now I can say what I've always said was Urban Meyer wasn't worth near the money he was paid. Those players deserve to get paid. They deserve compensation. And I'm not hearing any comments from any of you. So either you're all in total agreement or nobody has any questions. But it's time to end this. It's time to make sure that when you are being used to make not just millions, we're talking the NCAA billion-dollar deals, the players should benefit. And they should have protections. And they should have health care that continues on for injuries that they suffer when they play. And maybe we start being more rational. Instead of paying coaches $9 million a year, we start working on making college education more affordable for everybody. And we make sure that everybody gets a chance to move forward in our economy, to have a realistic chance at buying a home, of not living paycheck to paycheck, of not having to go to GoFundMe when they have a medical problem, because this country stands alone as one where if you get cancer, you're on your own. I don't think that's acceptable, and neither should you. Mike Turner has no problems with it. He voted twice against the Affordable Insulin Act. Mike Turner is not your friend. You can say what you like about me, but I'm never going to lie to you. Anyway, we're going to cut this short. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. And thank you for watching. Read the articles that I linked to below and see what's going on there. And remember, you can find out more information about my campaign at electesrati.com. You can donate there as well, and I hope you choose to. Even $3 makes a difference. Turner's got 19 billionaires. I got you. So please, make a donation. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.